When Lu Nhyn asked for a divorce for the third time because of her first love, I agreed. But suddenly, she hesitated. Are you sure? This isn't a joke, she frowned, double-checking. Looking at that familiar face, I just gave a soft smile and nodded. I've thought it through. Let's divorce. Lu Nhyn stared at my signature for a long time, her eyes complex, her voice kind of heavy. You're absolutely sure? Don't regret this after signing. I answered with total calm, sliding the wedding ring off my ring finger and placing it on the tea table. I smiled at her. I've thought about it perfectly. Hearing this, Lu Nhyn frowned even deeper. KBCT, I'm asking you one more time. Have you really thought this through? Her face was freezing cold. I knew she was just repeating the question to warn me not to change my mind halfway. She had already told her first love that after the divorce, they would move and settle down together in another country. Her stubborn attitude actually made me feel relieved. Because honestly, if this were the old me, I never would have let go. But now, I've learned how to walk away. Nhyn. I grabbed her hand, calling her name for the very last time. Her eyes flickered. You are free now. Saying that, I pulled her wedding ring off and tossed it straight into the trash. 3 years ago, with all the passion in my heart, I personally put that ring on her finger. 3 years later, I'm taking it off myself. The feelings are completely shut down. We are finally over. When I married Lu Nhyn, I had no idea why NH even existed. I genuinely thought our meeting and our whole romance was total destiny. But the moment NH showed up, I realized it was all just a massive joke. The day NH returned to the country, he actively greeted me with this attitude, like he was claiming territory. Hello, I'm NH, NHYN's friend. Thanks for taking care of her all this time. I just stood there frozen, letting him talk. Meanwhile, NHYN enthusiastically brewed the premium tea she meant to gift my dad. Then they both reminisced about old memories. And their little stories? They had zero room for my existence. Standing at the door, I suddenly realized my marriage was already crumbling. That night, I had my first ever fight with NHYN. She didn't understand my insecurity at all, calling me completely unreasonable. Furious, I grabbed her wrist tightly and questioned her. You and NH were childhood sweethearts. You loved each other. You even swore to get married in a country that bans divorce. Why didn't you? Tell me, what am I even doing in your heart? NHYN shook my hand off, annoyed. KBCT, if NH and I wanted to be together, we would have been together a long time ago. Stop being so sensitive. I really should have realized sooner that this marriage couldn't possibly last. But I kept trying to hold on because I loved her. Now I get it. My love isn't worth taking any more of this constant pain. If I could go back, I absolutely wouldn't drag this out for another second. Whenever you want to hit the civil registry, just let me know, so I can arrange it. Saying that, I walked away. Surprisingly, NHYN chased after me, blocking my path. KBCT, what trick are you playing now? Even at the very last minute, she was still scared. I only agreed to the divorce to pull some scheme. But what else could I even plot? Here, I simply wanted to set her free, and set myself free too. I sighed, brushing Lu Nhyn's hand away. Just rest. Assured, this time is real. After the divorce, I won't bother you and NH anymore. Of course, if you two are planning to move abroad, I'm certainly not stupid enough to chase after you. Move abroad? Lu Nhyn looked totally surprised, like she had no idea what I was talking about. Maybe she was just so thrilled I agreed to the divorce that she completely forgot about it. But honestly, I didn't want to explain anything else. Lu Nhyn, go home. I need to leave too. I waved my hand. Lu Nhyn's eyes were getting pretty red, staring at me. Why are you suddenly agreeing so easily? Because I'm exhausted, I answered super calmly. That's right. Just because of a meal. A seemingly meaningless meal. But it was the main reason I kept asking for a divorce. That day, I woke up early, hit the market, and put serious effort into prepping a nice candlelit dinner. For our anniversary, I even bought a gold necklace as a gift, planning to personally put it around her neck. I was looking forward to it so much. But get this, all I got was a freezing cold text. NH has a fever. I'm taking him to the hospital for an IV. I'm not coming home tonight. Looking at the fully packed table, I just couldn't understand what I actually did wrong. Suddenly, my phone screen lit up. Happy anniversary. Knowing you're busy by the flickering candles, You probably can't read this message, but I still really want to wish you happiness. That text was sent along with a picture of me sitting totally alone at the banquet table, like a cruel joke. The next day, Lu Nhyn returned. She looked at the table full of untouched food, freezing for a second, then scolded me. I told you not to wait. Why make so much food? Who's going to eat it? What a waste. That was the breaking point. I finally couldn't hold it back anymore and blew up at her. For the first time ever, I used harsh words during our fight. Lu Nhyn, absolutely furious, swung her hand and slapped me across the face. It's just a meal. Do you really have to overreact like this? Keep your jealousy in check. I didn't want to hear another word, only saying don't you just want to get back together with Yang. Why even pretend otherwise? Lu Nhyn screamed back at me. What are you going crazy about, KBCT? Both of us fell completely silent. I tried to calm down, but then she drops this bomb on me. Fine. I want to get back with Yang. Are you happy now? He's way more handsome, richer, more polite, and more generous than you. I only love him. The person who understands you the most also knows exactly how to hurt you the most. Her words felt like literal knives stabbing into my heart. After that time, she gave me two. Every time she handed over that divorce agreement, she coldly told KBCT, we just do not fit together anymore. Reaching this point is completely on you. She said she never should have married a guy who threw a fit over one single meal. She pinned all the blame right there, totally missing the real point. The actual issue was never the food itself. But I guess when people finally break up, they always desperately look for some random excuse to completely blame the other person entirely. Yeah, all because of a meal, I reply with a cold smirk. Just have it your way. Lu Nhyn stands right there, wanting to speak, but absolutely no words come out. After quite a while, she finally says you stay here. The house belongs to you anyway. I'm moving in with Yang. Let us hit the civil registry tomorrow. Hearing that actually makes me feel incredibly relieved. This time around, hearing her mention Yang does not even hurt my heart anymore. Alright, what time tomorrow? I ask her simply. Lu Nhyn pauses her packing, shooting me this super surprised look. A second later, looking almost furious, she slams her suitcase hard onto the floor. Her lips tremble slightly as she stares at me, yet she stays completely silent. Lu Nhyn looks at me like she is demanding answers, her eyes heavy with something complicated. There is this messy mix of emotions locked inside her gaze, almost like they are covered by a thin layer of frost, making it entirely impossible for me to read her. Tomorrow morning o'clock, she replies, her eyes still practically glued to me. 8 a.m. That is exactly when the civil registry opens its doors. I just laugh bitterly to myself. Not out of lingering regret or anything like that. It is just this overwhelming feeling of being unworthy. My efforts over all this time were completely wasted, honestly. Definitely not worth the 3 whole years I spent tormenting myself in pure misery. Fine, then. See you at the civil registry tomorrow. I nod, then ask her one more thing. Do you need to pack anything else up? Should I call Yang over to pick you up? Lu Nhyn bites her lip in hesitation before finally speaking very softly. She admits it. Reaching this terrible point is entirely her own fault. I cut her off with a quick, self-mocking laugh. You literally said that exact same thing 3 years ago. I continue calmly, as if I am casually discussing some random stranger's love life. Honestly, making a mistake is not even a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. Lu Nhyn, you're the one who let go first, and now I'm finally letting go too. Once this divorce is completely finalized, I seriously hope we never cross paths again. I go ahead and notify Yang to come pick her up. As Lu Nhyn leaves, she keeps glancing back over her shoulder repeatedly, like she still has things to say, but I just stand firmly at the door. I coldly shut it right in the face of her lingering, hesitant gaze, turning my back and walking away without a single ounce of doubt. Let me tell you, I sleep so incredibly well that night. My heart feels super light, like some massive, heavy boulder has finally been lifted completely off my chest for good. The very next morning, dress up neatly, getting totally ready for a closure that is 3 long years overdue. Lu Nhyn shows up with her companion right beside her. She steps right into the civil registry alongside Yang. I have absolutely nobody beside me, yet I do not feel empty at all. Honestly, my spirit feels completely lifted. I am entirely pumped and ready to embrace a brand new beginning. The paperwork wraps up surprisingly fast. Leaving the registry, I planned to find a nearby place to grab some food. But get this, a slender woman starts walking straight toward me, flashing a brilliant, bright smile. In an instant, a deeply familiar silhouette from my old memories comes rushing right back. She steps closer and smoothly takes off her sunglasses, shooting a quick glance at Lu Nhyn standing right behind me. She just chuckles twice before speaking up in a clear voice. She says to me, "I'd not make it to your wedding, but turns out I made it right in time for your divorce. Happy divorce, KBCT. Let me treat you to lunch." The sudden appearance of them Hues totally catches me off guard. If we really count the years, it has been an incredibly long time since we last saw each other. The very last time was probably on my wedding day. I still remember clearly. The night before the ceremony, LC then actually called me up to deliver some totally unexpected news. He said Thum Hues was getting completely drunk at our usual hotpot spot. The next day, Thum Hues actually showed up at my wedding. She had this absolutely radiant smile, as if she had not been wasted the night before. She helped me organize everything so perfectly that even my bride was genuinely impressed. Even Lu Nhyn had to exclaim, "Why is Thum Hues being so incredibly dedicated? It almost feels like she is the one getting married today." LC then just stood nearby. He stood right there, smiling, with this deep, hidden meaning. Dedication definitely does not always equal happiness, you know. She looked at me then, using her most incredibly sincere voice ever. She wished me a lifetime of true happiness. After the ceremony ended, before she even had a chance to change out of her dress, Thum Hues hurriedly rushed out of the country. According to her older brother's quick explanation, she was planning to study abroad. I actually tried calling Thum Hues once on the phone, but she simply did not answer the call. I figured she probably just missed it, so I went ahead and sent her a text message instead. Why leave in such a huge rush? I really wanted to gather everyone together. I had planned a proper farewell meal for us. It took her until late evening to finally reply, "We will hang out when there is a chance." Well, time definitely flew right by. Thum Hues remained overseas the whole time, never once coming back. Meanwhile, LC then was completely swamped with his own busy career and his family pressuring him for another kid. As for me, needless to say, enduring so much deep emotional damage in my marriage left my body and soul entirely exhausted. Those old promises from years ago, totally impossible. Even 3 years later, they remained completely unfulfilled. Seeing her again right now feels so wonderfully surreal, almost like I am stuck in a very hazy, totally unbelievable dream sequence. What is wrong? It has only been 3 short years. Do not tell me you forgot about me already? Thum Hues pokes my chest with her finger, pretending to be absolutely furious. I finally snap back to reality. When did you even get back in the country? Why did you not tell us so? LC then, and I could pick you up from the airport? Thum Hues looks pretty satisfied with my flustered reaction. She even jokes back, "If you do not mind the hassle, I can catch a cab to the airport right now. You can pick me up from the very start." I just burst out laughing. Wait, why are you actually here though? I swear I only told LC then about this divorce stuff. Did I not already say this was just a pure coincidence? We are simply meant to run into each other. Thum Hues casually flips her hair, laughing brightly. Right at this moment, Lu Nhyn suddenly glares straight at Thum Hues with fiercely guarded eyes. Although she does not say a single word, I clearly see the intense, bitter hostility blazing right there. Hostility in her gaze. Yang Then's phone suddenly rings out loud. He quickly runs off to the side to answer it, leaving Lu Nhyn just standing there staring very intently. She just stared right at us. I asked her how long she planned to stick around this time, suggesting we call Luke then out for a proper get-together. "No need," she replied. "I already set the whole thing up," she said. Tham Hu so quickly pulled me away from Lu Nuyen, explaining she already told Luke then we were heading to his place tonight. We were having hot pot, and she specifically requested a mild broth. Lu Nuyen just could not hold back and interrupted, "How can anyone even eat mild hot pot? Kai Bak Dat never liked eating like that anyway, so why would you even drag him along?" The whole space around us suddenly dropped into dead silence. Both Tham Hu so and I turned to look straight at Lu Nuyen. Even Dang Than, who was taking a phone call further away, instinctively glanced over. Lu Nuyen looked pretty embarrassed and quickly turned her face away, actively avoiding my gaze. But Tham Hu so did not hesitate for a second to confront her. "You sure love sticking your nose where it doesn't belong," she fired back. Already divorced, but still meddling in other people's business. "Tell me, Miss Lu, what right do you have?" Tham Hu so let out a mocking laugh, which clearly made Lu Nuyen feel incredibly insulted. There are still 30 whole days until we get the actual divorce certificate. Right now, we are not officially divorced yet. She spat out through gritted teeth. Oh, so you don't plan on getting divorced then? Why don't you try asking the guy on the phone over there if he actually agrees with that? Tham Hu So refused to back down, stepping right in front of me to block her, calling it absolutely hilarious. You want to avoid divorce just so you can keep clinging on and freeloading off him? We are both women here, so stop trying to act all deep and righteous in front of me. Even a dog would shake its head at this mess. Tham Hu So has always had an incredibly sharp tongue. In the past, I constantly had to remind her to watch her words closely, since not everyone is as tolerant as I am. I warned her she might bring disaster upon herself if she wasn't careful, but Tham Hu So would just casually pat her chest. If nobody crosses me, I won't cross them. But if someone steps on me, I'll tear them apart verbally. Over the past 3 long years, that aggressive habit of hers hasn't changed one bit. But today, like usual, actually felt pretty comfortable with it. It feels like everyone is somehow born boxed into all kinds of weird prejudices. Men have to yield to women. Men must be totally generous and endlessly tolerant. But after suffering through this completely failed marriage, I finally realized that staying overly rational is just exhausting. Right then, Wai Dang Than finished his phone call and walked straight over to Lu Nuyen. He obviously heard the entire argument that just went down, but he clearly chose to ignore it completely. He simply turned to Lu Nuyen and said, Nuyen, company has some urgent business right now, so I can't take you home. What did you just say? Lu Nuyen stared at Wai Dang Than in absolute shock, but he didn't even give her a second to react before walking away. Wow, your ex-husband dumped you, and now your side piece is running off too. Miss Lu, you are just so incredibly pitiful. Tham Hu So faked a gasp of surprise, covering her mouth as she laughed out loud. Lu Nuyen's face instantly turned bright red with pure anger. I had actually never seen Lu Nuyen act quite like that before. In the past, she always made things awkward for me or threw angry tantrums at absolutely everyone during family gatherings. She would insult my relatives, and in front of our friends, she constantly criticized every little thing I did, and through it all, I never once uttered a single word of complaint. But right now I don't have to endure it anymore. Tham Hu So, don't you dare think I don't know exactly what you are thinking. Lu Nuyen sneered, standing right up. Now watch this dynamic closely. Oh, so you can read minds now? Seeing you act this guarded, why don't you try guessing what I am actually thinking right now? Am I planning to slap you to vent my anger? Or just using this chance to win back your ex-husband? Tham Hu So just laughed and confidently challenged her, stepping right up close to me. What did you say? You cheated on him and still want to argue logic? You're thick-faced enough to pick a fight here? You think everyone here is acting like an adult, right? Let me give you some solid advice. Go home and pour oil in a pan to check if it's cooking oil or just the thick grease from your own face. Lu Nuyen was absolutely furious, her face burning bright red as she yelled back. I warned her, just talk, do not curse, and hurl insults at other people. Lu Nuyen looked at me in complete surprise, clearly still not processing what I was even saying, so I firmly repeated myself. I just insulted you right to your face. Did you somehow miss that? Well, you heard it now. Lu Nuyen froze completely, totally unable to fire a single word back. Tham Hu So laughed in pure delight. She turned to me, throwing her hands up in fake shock, then shook her head mockingly at Lu Nuyen. It truly is pretty bad luck getting cursed out everywhere you go, but it totally serves you right. I stayed quiet, simply offering to take Tham Hu So to eat. Before leaving, I turned back around and gave Lu Nuyen one final warning. Bother me a little less, or you'll regret it. She just stood there, watching the two of us walk away. Her eyes were burning with pure rage, but she couldn't do a single thing about it. Later that evening, Tham Hu So and I visited Luke Then's place for hot pot. His wife warmly welcomed Tham Hu So at the door, and even brought out special gifts for everyone. Luke then scooped up some freshly cooked chicken from the broth, handing it to me while joking. This right here is your absolute favorite dish. Don't go complaining that I ate your share this time. Tham Hu So just winked playfully at him, adding that Kai Bak Dat definitely still prefers eating his hot pot mild, right? Luke then looked genuinely surprised. What are you even talking about? Don't you remember? Back in the old days, didn't we always get hot pot together? Kai Bak Dat never liked overly rich food. If he eats too much greasy stuff, he just cannot handle it. He only ever accommodated Lu Nu Yen back then, which is why he started eating spicy food. But her tone felt a little off. I never actually liked spicy hot pot, yet she just kept pretending she understood my tastes perfectly. Tham Hu so just let out a soft laugh. I honestly thought Kai Bak Dat had permanently changed his palate, but just this morning, he got into a massive fight with Lu Nu Yen. I feel like you really have absolutely zero faith in him. The whole table dropped into awkward silence. Luke then coughed softly, gesturing for Tham Hu so to just keep quiet. Luke then shot me a quick glance, then silently scooped 2 more thick pieces of beef right into my bowl. I totally understood what Luke then meant. Lu Nu Yen loves spicy food and constantly mocked me for eating mild meals. If a dish was even slightly bland, she'd refuse it and just throw it all away. After getting married, I completely gave up my old preferences to match her exact tastes. I guess after eating like that for so long, even Luke then forgot how much I had actually changed. I changed my habits just for her. Honestly, I don't even like spicy food. I'm actually allergic to peppers, but all of these little details, she somehow never knew, never noticed a single thing. Anyway, Tham Hu S gets completely drunk. LC then and I have to practically beg her to drink some water to sober up. But she just waves it off, says this divorce makes her happy. Drinking makes her happy. Seeing us happy also makes her happy. This whole wild scene, it feels exactly like my wedding day 3 years ago. I sigh, feeling pretty helpless, and pour Tham Hu S a glass of cold water to sober up. I ask her, you were happy when I got married, and you're happy now that I'm divorced? Tham Hu S doesn't answer, she just smiles. Back then it was fake. Now, it's pure, real happiness. Right then, LC then's wife chimes in. She says we've all had enough. It's getting late, and tells me, KBCT, you should be the one to take Tham Hu S home while they handle the cleanup. I stand up to help Tham Hu S. LC then tries to assist, but his wife immediately swats him. She tells him, I've got this covered. No need for him to worry. LC then awkwardly backs off. We just exchange a look, the tension pretty obvious. His wife walks me to the door, pats my shoulder, tells me to get back safe. I head out, taking Tham Hu S all the way home with me. When she finally steps out of the car, Tham Hu S's older brother is already waiting. He sees how completely drunk she is, but doesn't say a single word. He just catches her as she stumbles, asks if I want to come inside for a bit. I politely decline, exchange a few quick pleasantries, and then I leave. The very next morning, a loud knock wakes me up. It's Lu Nhyn. I ask her what she wants, but she just turns around right on the spot. She says she left some things behind and needs to grab them. I step aside to let her through. She only takes a few steps before stopping dead. Then she suddenly freezes, asks if I really don't need this stuff anymore. Lu Nhyn keeps her head down, her fingers clenching the edge of her coat. Her knuckles are completely white from gripping so hard. I follow her gaze straight over to the pile of random junk I tossed right into the trash bin. Most of it is just old memories of us. But right now, I don't need them anymore. I tell her straight up, yes, I am absolutely done. I cleaned the whole house this morning, and things feel a lot fresher now. Lu Nhyn just keeps her back turned to me, her fingertips still trembling. Dead silence. She just stands there, frozen for what feels like forever. Then, very slowly, she drops to her knees and starts pulling things from the trash. She pulls them out, piece by piece. The matching bracelets we gave each other. Those little handmade crafts we awkwardly put together on our very first few dates. The messy card she drew for me while completely drunk on our wedding night. And all those little gifts I bought for her over the years. Things I used to treat like actual treasure. Now, they mean absolutely nothing. Honestly, you couldn't even get a few cents for them at a scrapyard. Looking back on it, it's pretty hilarious. I poured my entire soul into holding this broken relationship together, trying to make it work against all the odds. And in the end, it wasn't even worth a single glance. I feel like a washed-up gambler who went all in and walked away totally empty-handed. If you don't want them, let me take them, she says. Lu Nhyn finally turns her head to look at me, forcing this incredibly stiff, awkward smile. She's smiling, but she looks completely miserable. Honestly, she probably realizes how painful that smile looks. Because she gives up on it almost instantly, she just goes quiet, digging through the stuff she pulled from the trash. I just shrug it off. Suit yourself, take it off my hands for me. She says she'll bag it up and take it. Lu Nhyn goes silent again, just giving me this incredibly gloomy stare. She asks me one more time, Do I really not need this stuff anymore? Did I change my mind? I tell her if you want it, take it. Otherwise, it's all going to the dump. She quietly grabs a bag from under the table and starts packing. I just turn around and head into the kitchen to cook. A bit later, return. I find Lu Nhyn sitting on a chair, staring at me like her soul just left her body. I have to call her name several times before she reacts. She finally snaps out of it and gives a faint smile. She says she remembers how I used to cook just to make her smile. Watching me do it now, it feels like time just reversed. We used to be so happy. Lu Nhyn starts rambling on, but I immediately cut her off. Do you have all your stuff? She freezes for a second, then nods. Yeah, I've got it all. Nothing left. I just wash the dishes, set the table, and sit down to eat. Now watch this. Lu Nhyn stands up and actually asks if I want her to stay for lunch. I look down at the stir-fried veggies and the steamed fish. None of this fits her taste at all. So why does she suddenly want to stay? I tell her straight up. I only cooked one portion. There's zero extra food. I shut her down completely. Lu Nhyn finally realizes I'm basically kicking her out. So she apologizes. She stays completely silent for a moment, then says she'll leave. But right before walking out, Lu Nhyn suddenly turns back, looking at me with pure determination. She says that day I handed you those divorce papers, it wasn't. Here is where it gets chaotic. Before she can even finish, Thum Who S casually strolls right into the room. What are you doing here? Lu Nhyn demands. Thum Who S just smiles. Just visiting. Do I need your permission? The two of them instantly start bickering, throwing insults back and forth. Neither of them is willing to back down an inch. Eventually, Lu Nhyn just gives up and leaves after a quick goodbye. Thum Who S sits right down and asks, why are you eating so early? You invited me. I just laugh and start setting out some extra food for her. Thum Who S watches me, looking incredibly amused. She says it's been a really long time since she had this. She finally gets to eat my cooking again and wants to see if I've still got it. I hand her a bowl of rice, and she completely loves every single bite. She says whoever marries me is going to be incredibly lucky. Thum Who S is never stingy with her compliments, especially back in the days when I was down. When I was really struggling, she always knew how to comfort me and keep me pushing forward. Being around her just feels so incredibly easy and comfortable right now. I tell her who knows what the future holds, but right now, you're the lucky one. I just laugh, teasing her a bit. Thum Who S's eyes narrow playfully. She rests her chin on her hands, looking up at him, telling him he should just marry her since he wants to be lucky so badly. She points out he needs a new wife anyway, and her family is forcing her into marriage. So why not just pair up right now? That way he gets to be lucky every single day. Her voice sounds teasing like usual, but looking right into her eyes, he sees pure, intense passion. She is absolutely not joking around. He freezes up for a second, and Thum Who so quickly looks away and laughs, but it sounds completely forced. She tells him it was just a joke, and asks why he looks so scared. But whenever she lies, she bites her lip. Those little tells cannot fool him at all. No matter how hard she tries to play it off, he completely figures it all out. She asks why he is not saying anything. Did she really scare him that much? Thum Who so looks pretty anxious. She apologizes, swearing it was just a silly joke, and begging him not to be mad. Even if they cannot be together, she says, they are still friends, right? He knows perfectly well that changing who you are for somebody else is just not a fun time at all. Thum Who so keeps smiling, but he notices the corners of her eyes turning red. He wants to reach out and pat her head to comfort her, but he realizes that might be crossing a line, so he pulls his hand back. He asks her to just tell him about her time living overseas instead. Just focus on the happy memories, he says, completely changing the subject. Thum Who so stares at him for a second, then nods and starts sharing stories. They talk for hours, from the sun rising in the east to it setting in the west, chatting about everything from blooming sunflowers to the stars. They never even get tired. After walking Thum Who so out, he slumps onto the sofa, replaying those words she said during their dinner over and over. But he just cannot give her an answer. He has no idea how to even face her anymore. Thum Who so is genuinely such a good person. He just cannot jump straight into a brand new relationship right after watching his last one crash and burn. That night, he tosses and turns endlessly. He cannot catch a single wink of sleep. A few days pass, and maybe because of that heavy chat, they completely avoid talking about their awkward situation. She chooses to stay totally quiet about it, and he does not bring it up either. They just go right back to hanging out and being normal friends, acting like that confession never even happened. Until the day he and Lu Nu-yen finally head to the civil registry to finalize their divorce. Do you have anything you want to say to me? Lu Nu-yen asks, right at the entrance. She looks absolutely miserable. He just tells her no. Let us just get this over with quickly. He says he still has to meet Luke then in Tham Hu so, refusing to even look at her face. Lu Nu-yen stares at him, suddenly looking super tense. Are you divorcing me for Tham Hu so? He laughs, reminding her she demanded this divorce first. She claims that was just a tiny mistake, but how can completely betraying his feelings just be a mistake? He does not even want to argue anymore. Talking to her feels completely pointless now. He and Lu Nu-yen already made their choice, and this divorce is officially a done deal at this point. Standing right here, they have absolutely nothing left to say. He pats her shoulder, telling her to hurry up. Once the paperwork is done, they split up. But Lu Nu-yen suddenly calls out to him. If she had never handed him those divorce papers, would he still have wanted to end things? Yes, he answers, without hesitating. Now get a load of her. Next question. What if she and Wai Dang Than never crossed paths again? Honestly, they both know the direct reason this marriage died is because Wai Dang Than showed up. But deep down, they also understand the hard truth. Here, even without Wai Dang Than, someone else would have come along. Once trust shatters like that, you cannot just glue it back together. So he does not even bother answering Lu Nu-yen's question. He is not dodging it, he just feels it is totally useless to say anything more to her now. After finally ditching Lu Nu-yen, he heads over to meet Luke then and Tham Hu so. But surprisingly, Luke then suddenly has to run off somewhere. Work emergency. So it is just Tham Hu so left. She sees him arrive and gives this shy, awkward smile, saying Luke then is gone, so maybe they should just reschedule. Tham Hu so acts super careful and totally clumsy, completely losing that relaxed, free-spirited vibe she used to carry around all the time. Seeing her like this, he finally realizes they really cannot just pretend. That confession never happened. This heavy awkwardness is practically forcing him to step up and face the problem head on. No need to cancel, he says. Just the two of them is perfectly fine. He sits across from her, quietly wiping her utensils. Tham Hu so looks incredibly uncomfortable. He gently calls her name, and she nervously replies. He tells her he wants to ask her something, hesitating for a second. Here comes the turning point. After a long pause, he drops the question. Do you actually like a guy like me? Tham Hu so almost spits her drink everywhere. Half the restaurant turns to stare at them. Blushing super hard, she desperately tries wiping the spilled water off herself and the table. Are you running on zero sleep? She asks, sounding completely flustered about the sudden question. He awkwardly scratches his head, admitting that maybe he just did not explain himself clearly. Tham Hu so gives him this suspicious look, leans in closer, and asks what he is really trying to figure out here. Do you like me? He repeats. A full minute of dead silence ticks by. Then, Tham Hu so grabs her phone and calls Luke then, saying things are bad, claiming his brain is officially fried. He calmly reaches out and grabs her phone, telling Luke then that everything is fine and to just get back to work. He hangs up the call right there. Tham Hu so looks at him helplessly, asking how long he has actually known about her feelings. Since the day she joked about them getting married, he replies. But she insists it was just a joke. He smiles slightly, reminding her. She bites her lip when she lies. She stays totally quiet for a while, then lets out a heavy sigh. By bringing this up today, is he saying they cannot be friends anymore? She drops her head, completely defeated. Her lips curve into this pretty bitter smile. She wouldn't have joked around if she knew. At least we could still be friends. Now, we just can't do anything, she says, sounding half joking and half serious. Honestly, seeing her look like that somehow makes my heart completely tighten up inside. I let out a deep breath. Why are you overthinking all of this? Tham Hu looks up right at me. Do you really want to make things perfectly clear? I pause slightly. I finally tell her, but ever since that incident, you've been intentionally keeping your distance from me. We just aren't exactly like we were before. I stop to find the right words to explain myself. I actually feel pretty lonely. Tham Hu looks at me, and pretty surprised. You're a good person, but I just got out of a totally failed relationship. I don't want to rush into starting anything new right now. Tham Hu gets pretty worked up. It's totally fine. I will wait for you. Her eyes light up like literal stars. I suddenly wonder to myself, since when did Tham Hu start liking me? If this happened before I met Lu Nhyn, it would have been so great. But honestly, I think that if we start fresh right now, maybe it's really not too late. Now that everything's totally cleared up, our relationship finally goes back to being super comfortable and completely stress-free, just like it used to be. A few days later, Lu Nhyn suddenly calls me up out of nowhere. She says she's actually getting ready to fly abroad with Yang, and she wants to meet me one more time. I refuse. Just once, for the very last time. Lu Nhyn is standing right outside, continuously knocking. I keep hearing it, getting super annoyed. So I just open the door. You finally agreed to see me, Lu Nhyn says. We met, now go away. I instantly turn to shut it, but she blocks the door. Can you believe the absolute nerve? I ask, totally frustrated. Seriously, what do you want from me? She pauses for a second, then actually hands me a button as a little souvenir. I used to really love collecting buttons back in the day, but Lu Nhyn completely hated it. She always thought it was a total waste of money. One time, friend visiting from far away gave me this really incredible, super special button. I carefully kept it locked in a box. But that day, Lu Nhyn and Yang went out together. It suddenly rained heavily. She got completely soaked. She came home, saw me holding that button, and just exploded with anger because I didn't pick her up in the rain. You care about this button that much? Or do you seriously like it more than me? She absolutely lost it, grabbed the gift box, and threw it downstairs. Thinking back now, I still feel pretty regretful about it. Looking at this identical button, ask where did you even get this? A friend brought it back for me, she answers softly. I just hand the button right back to Lu Nhyn. Sorry, but I really don't like collecting buttons anymore. You should just keep it. Lu Nhyn stares at me, her eyes full of hope, just waiting for my answer. When I tell her I don't like it anymore, she looks obviously completely disappointed. You don't like it anymore? I can buy you a different one, just choose. I wave my hand. No need for that. I really don't need souvenirs. Lu Nhyn stares blankly at me, then mutters completely to herself. Why? You used to like this. I let out a sigh. Used to like it. Not anymore. Anymore. She gently clenches her hands, trying so hard to hold back all those chaotic emotions inside. Lu Nhyn smiles incredibly bitterly. It's not that you don't like the button, it's that you just don't like me. She looks at me, getting red, full of pure desperation and unwillingness. Even her normally cold and totally arrogant voice suddenly sounds super hoarse. She still doesn't give up, asking me again. Aren't you going to ask me to stay? If you say you don't want me to leave, I'll stay. Lu Nhyn, we lived together for 3 whole years. You think you know my personality pretty well. I tell her. She just completely breaks down. She looks up at me like she absolutely can't believe what she's hearing. She lightly taps her chest, almost like she has so many things to say, but physically can't get the words out. I've heard that when people go through absolute maximum pain, they literally can't even speak. But I never imagined that kind of pain would come from Lu Nhyn. She leans against the heavy door, keeps smiling, and then just cries. Lu Nhyn finally gets her composure back after a minute, mocking herself. Before, I really thought I loved Yang, but with you, it was just me relying on you. Honestly, at first, I only stayed with you because you looked quite a bit like him. But after getting that divorce, now watch this confession. I realized I don't actually love Yang. I love you. She lets out a huge sigh. I know I'm awful, I know. Lu Nhyn, you're being totally irrational right now. You don't need to say another word. I'll call Yang to come get you. Just go home. I seriously feel like I can't endure the sound of a woman crying anymore. To me, it's honestly just an endlessly exhausting pain. Please don't. Lu Nhyn frantically grabs my hand and snatches my phone. If I had explained everything earlier, if I had just admitted my mistakes sooner, would the result have been completely different? I already gave you my answer. Nothing changes here, I tell her. I simply can't lie to you. Lu Nhyn, you just never really looked at our relationship clearly, which made you misunderstand so many things. Right now, I'm going to give it to you completely straight. We just can't have anything anymore. I don't love you, and the best move is to completely forget each other. You and Yang go abroad, and I'm going to start a brand new life. Lu Nhyn suddenly screams out loud. How am I supposed to forget you? Do you think I haven't tried to Forget you? She opens her hands and shakes her head. I can't do it. I really want to let go too. I don't want to spend every single day missing you, running to find you like some completely crazy person. But I literally can't do it. I came here to make this totally clear. If you still have a little attachment left, what if you actually still love me? I already missed my chance once. I don't want to miss it ever again. Lu Nhyn says, her voice full of intense determination and obvious pain. Right at that exact second, my phone suddenly starts ringing. Lu Nhyn glances at the bright screen, and then she immediately hangs up the call. But shortly after that, Thum Hues actually takes the elevator up to my place. When she sees Lu Nhyn standing there, she's clearly surprised. But then, she steps right up and casually hooks her arm through mine. Lu Nhyn, why are you looking for KBCT again? Thum Hues asks. Lu Nhyn just stares at our linked arms and suddenly lets out a laugh. So you two are dating now, huh? None of your business, Thum Hues replies. She lets out a heavy sigh, looking at me with total disappointment. Yesterday, Yang Thenh wanted to take me overseas, she admits. But I turned him down. I came looking for you, but seeing this, no point. We are done. Her voice sounds totally calm, like she is discussing the weather, but her eyes completely give her away. The emotion is raw. Lu Nhyn turns her back. She hurries straight toward the elevator, quickly wiping away tears. Giving me a little wave, she forces a smile. KBCT, I am leaving. When Yang Thenh first picked her up, she gave me that exact same wave. But this time feels totally different. I can hear it. You feel that shift, right? This time, she is actually walking away for good. The story ends here, deep inside my chest. It feels like this massive knot just untied itself. I pull Thum Hues into a tight hug. Confused, she gently pats my back. Are you okay? What is wrong? Not feeling well? I just shake my head. A soft smile. Thank you, Thum Hues. Outside, clear sunlight streams right through the glass. We hope our future stays exactly like this. Peaceful, quiet, happy. And just like that, this story finally comes to a close. Cue the music.